What is good, Guardians? Soldier Only here from Sports Nerd Web with this week's episode of Destiny Unplugged. Not a whole hell of a lot going on in the world of Destiny right now, but it is Thursday, so there is the new this week at Bungie. So with that being said, we'll get right into it. This is from Cosmo. This week at Bungie, we are waging our usual battle in playtest. Last week we launched Hotfix 2.5.0.2, which contained some impactful changes to the Destiny sandbox. Since then, Guardians have expressed a renewed fondness for their primary weapon choices. The special ammo economy also saw some major alterations, and players are adjusting to a new crucible where death carries a much higher price. It has been a little over 1 week since these new changes took effect, and we're still monitoring feedback from around the community. One thing we have been hearing a lot of is, quote, sidearms so hot right now, end quote. A lot of the feedback around sidearms has pointed out their unique ability to hoard special ammo when other weapons are running dry. Senior designer Josh Hamrick has a few preliminary plans to address this in the future. He also has some ideas for making Memory of Scory a little less impactful on Trials of Osiris without negating its benefits in PvE. So that's good to hear for people, that play a lot of Trials and that have been having a lot of problems, with players spawn camping and spawn camping and then proccing the Memory of Scory artifact, so that they can chain supers and things like that. This is from Josh Hamrick. And I'm back again. In the spirit of open and honest communication, I wanted to show up and talk about a couple of changes we are beginning to test now. Before I do, I have to state that these changes could see some iteration before they make it to you. The important thing to know is that this iteration could change the details or even, though it is unlikely, entirely kill them. More than likely they'll ship and probably as is, but we'd like to clear that up just in case. Now the goods. Number 1, sidearms. In not entirely shocking development, the sidearm meta has grown strong, with its innate ability to not only keep ammo through death, but to also actually store it away, Scrooge McDuck style. It's the ultimate gift for anyone who's always running out, for now. We are currently working on a change that would allow sidearms to continue to spawn with a small set amount of ammo post-death, but keep them from stacking anything extra. They'll be handy if you run into resistance on your way to the ammo crate, but to keep your sidearm usage high, you will still need to stock up often. Number 2, for the Memory of Scory. This artifact has led to some of the greatest dance parties I've ever attended in Destiny. That being said, aside from encouraging these sort of team-building events, the artifact itself tends to inspire a more lackadaisical approach to gameplay. Instead of continuing to encourage you to hurry up and wait on a super, we are looking at modifying Scory to motivate some activity. The change currently in testing requires a kill to jumpstart Scory's unique ability for the next minute. Once it times out, you will need another kill to jumpstart it again. We believe you won't have any problems killing one enemy every 60 seconds for maximum uptime in PvE, but Trials may offer a greater challenge. I just want to say this actually sounds like a phenomenal change to Memory of Scory. In the community over the last longer than the update, because this whole issue with the Memory of Scory artifact has been going on for a lot longer than what this update's been out. So a lot of people in the community didn't like the fact that when update 2.5.0.2 came out, that Memory of Scory hadn't even been touched. But it's good to see that they are working on changes, and that this change specifically that he talks about, I think on paper it sounds like it would actually work. Over the past while, there has been a lot of ideas thrown around the community of what you can do to Memory of Scory to where it changes, the tactics that you're seeing in Trials. But like they said in here, it's also not ruining it for PvE, because it is a great artifact to use for PvE as well. So moving on, for the Truth. While I think Truth's strength is its unique ability to find its target, clearly having more rockets is always better, and losing a loaded rocket is, understandably, a heavy loss to many players. To make this a little bit easier to deal with, we are looking into adding one additional rocket into your backpack and bumping Truth to the max rocket launcher reload speed. So that's good to hear that Truth is getting one of their rockets back, because when this update came out, they actually nerfed the hell out of the rocket capacity for Truth. It used to be 3, and then they bumped it down to 1. So that's good to see that they are putting 1 back into the capacity, so now the Truth will actually be able to hold 2 rockets, and they're also buffing the reload speed for the Truth to the max that a rocket launcher can have. For the No Land Beyond, much like the recent rise of sidearms, No Land Beyond is showing up more and more. Ultimately, we would never want to destroy NOB's exoticness, meaning we would never move it from the primary slot or change it from being a sniper. On the contrary, we found a potential workaround for making NOB flinch like the sniper rifle it is. This one will require a good amount of testing, but we think it's a good change. Keep your shooting clean and you'll still pop heads like nothing ever changed, but falling behind in a head-to-head primary fight will likely be a death sentence. For Blink, as you know, we've nerfed Blink a few times over the years. While we're happy with the latest changes, we believe that the stack of nerfs has grown too high. To counter this, we are looking into removing the old recovery nerf entirely. Additionally, we are looking at pulling back the time that you're HUDless by just a bit. And I don't know what they mean by this, but he also has, finally, Nutty McNutface is a lazy name for a squirrel, and you all know it. So I don't know exactly what he means by that, but these potential changes will join fixes for health regen, perks, in an update we are testing now. You can also read about those proposed changes in a post from earlier this week on Bungie.net. Stay tuned for more details on when you can expect these to land. None of these changes are finalized, and we don't have a date for delivery yet, but we wanted to get you in the loop earlier into the process this go around. So, like he says in here, these changes that we talked about in this one, they're not final, but most likely these are going to be the ones that you see. And as he mentioned right here at the end, they don't have a release date yet for these fixes. But it's good to hear that they are actually getting us in the loop sooner and kind of letting us know what's going on. So that's always a positive in my book. So, and in other news, Iron Banner is returning. Here's another opportunity to test the new combat scenarios in Destiny. Iron Banner will be beginning. It seems like everything is going up on a Tuesday, like the song, right? Because this next Tuesday, we have Horizon Zero Dawn launching, and as in the video that I made earlier, the Divisions Update 1.6 and Last Stand DLC is also dropping Tuesday. And now it looks like Iron Banner is returning Tuesday, February 28th at 10 a.m. Pacific, and it's going to end Tuesday, March 7th, 1 a.m. Pacific. And this month, the game will be Supremacy again. Iron Banner is back next week. It returns to the game type that launched with Rise of Iron. Back in September, Guardians lamented the overuse of shotguns. Things may be different now that shells are not as plentiful. Collect those crests and claim your rewards. FRD will be waiting at Fellwinter Peak with your bounties and a glimpse of what roles you can expect on this lineup of weaponry. It looks like FRD is going to be bringing sniper rifles and hand cannons this go around. And it looks like she's going to have helmet and leg armor for the Hunter, Titan, and Warlock. So yeah, she should have that this go around. And also, lastly, the Bungie bounty for this week is looks like it's Jogando Play. The region is Brazil. That's 6 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be on PS4, and the playlist is Clash. So there has yet to really be a Bungie bounty in my area, so I haven't really been able to participate in those. But I think it is a really cool thing that they're doing. I like how they're doing. Not all the bounties that they're doing, are big streamers or big well-known members of the community. So it's a good way to kind of like spotlight other members of the community as well. So that's always good to see. But that's going to do it for this episode of Destiny Unplugged. Thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up button if you like this episode. If you're new to the channel, hit that sub button for more content in the future. And we will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.